As for the 1,000 years of peace, let's see. Yes, we'll go through that quickly. Some of the drawings, some of the visions that I've had. Let me just take a look. Okay, the new earth that I've talked about before is going to be opposite to what we have now. Right now, our land mass and our planet is 70% water and 30% land. And during the 1,000 years of peace, it's going to be reversed. We will still have a lot of water, but there will be one ocean, but it'll be smaller than any of the oceans that we have now. But there will be a whole lot of lakes and a whole lot of seas and a whole lot of rivers going everywhere. The whole planet is going to be filled with so much moisture, and all the water will flow from Jerusalem, from beneath the throne of Jesus himself. And I think it's Ezekiel who talked about exactly how the throne room looks and how the water is going to flow out from it, and it's going to fill all the rivers that are going to flow throughout the entire world. Anyway, I just put together a little kind of map of the new earth, and as you can see here, this is Jerusalem, and so everything else is sort of laid out as it is. This used to be South America, this used to be North America, this used to be Australia and Asia and so on. But you can see all the land masses, they're all joined together as one. So in order to get from one side of the planet to the other, you don't have to take a boat. Although if you wanted to, you could take a boat and you could travel the waterways to get from one side of the planet to the other, because all the waterways will be connected as well. But you can also take roadways too, to go from one side of the planet to the other, because the entire planet, all the continents as we know, are going to be changed and they're going to be joined together. So the world on a continental level, on a tectonic level, on a landmass level, the world will all be as one. And as that world grows, we're going to have all sorts of excellent technology, helpful technology, technology that is efficient and doesn't pollute or anything like that. And this is one of the things that I've seen. This is a typical power stream. This provides both light at nighttime, the way we have street lights, but there are a lot of these things going up and down the street, and there's a power stream going out here and a power stream going out there. So each of these pole type things are all connected, and it looks kind of like lightning flowing from one to the other. But at nighttime they provide light for the streets, but 24 hours a day they're always providing power. They're always providing electricity to whoever needs it. During the 1,000 years of peace, the flesh and blood people, they're going to be living in houses, they're going to have technology, they're going to need electricity. So at any time and anywhere, there are certain junctions where they can tap into these particular things, where they can tap into these power streams and they can get electricity free of charge. Again, during the 1,000 years of peace, there's going to be no money. There's no monetary system at all. People, us wise servants, and all the children of God that have been assigned positions of authority and positions of helpfulness during the 1,000 years of peace, we're going to be using our skills and our talents to build up technology, build up society free of charge, because there'll be no need for money. I've mentioned before, during the 1,000 years of peace, all the gold, all the precious stones, everything that we have of value that comes from the earth, the gold, diamonds, everything, it's all going to be gathered together, and it's all going to be taken to Israel, and it's going to be used as adornment on the walls in the city of Jerusalem. So all the gold that we find during the 1,000 years of peace, it's going to be taken to Jerusalem, and it's just going to be used as decoration. No longer will there be any particular group or person that can hoard gold for themselves. Gold is just going to become it's just going to become adornment. It has absolutely no value in terms of monetary value. So there will be no greed. Once you get rid of the monetary system, you get rid of the love of money. And we know the love of money is the root of all evil. So once you get rid of that, you have a society where people just work together, sharing their skills and their talents with other people. And in terms of this particular kind of light, one of the things that I have seen is a particular kind of city, and this city kind of glows, And all those street lights in this particular city makes it look kind of like a spider web. So these are all streets and street lights lighting up the city. There's the main downtown core on the inside, and then all the other cities stretch out as the city grows over the 1,000 years of peace. And again, because we have a God that knows the beginning of time and the end of time, when we build a city, when we start off during the 1,000 years of peace, the Lord will let us know exactly how big that city is going to get once we finish building it. And so the boundaries will all be laid out. And the city streets, the downtown streets, are going to be far more efficient than they are now. Where's that one drawing? Because, where is that? Because as I have seen, the pedestrian traffic is elevated above the vehicular traffic. So no longer will anybody be in danger of getting run over or getting hit by a car, because the ground transportation is on a very different level than public transportation or than pedestrian transportation. And so the cities are going to be far more efficient, and they're going to run far more efficient than they do now. Because we, the believers from the 19th century and 20th century, we've seen all the limitations that it takes in order to build a city. So we're going to build cities that are far more efficient because we've learned from the mistakes that we're making now. And not only will there be cities, as I mentioned before, but we, the believers, even though we won't need something like a jetpack, we will still be building them, because Adam's bloodline, the natural flesh and blood people, the great-great-grandchildren of the survivors of Armageddon, they will still have flesh and blood. They will still be bound by the laws of nature, even though we won't. We wise virgins, those who have been raptured, regenerated, and resurrected, will be given power over the forces of nature. So we can fly, we can think ourselves instantly from one side of the planet to the other. But we still want to help out Adam's children. We still want to help out the flesh and blood people. So we'll be building technology to help them out. Building technology that will allow them to fly as well. And not only will we be doing that, but we'll also be exploring the solar system. So we will also be building spaceships and whatnot. And those I've seen, and they're absolutely amazing. And I've also mentioned that during the 1,000 years of peace, eventually by the end of it, there's going to be billions and billions of people. About 15 billion people, 15 billion people at the end of the 1,000 years of peace. And there's still going to be plenty of landscape. It's not like the planet is going to become one big city. It's absolutely nothing like that. But we're going to be building cities that are so efficient that they can house a lot of people. And it's not only just cities that are based on the ground, but what I've also seen is, in this particular case, in this particular vision, I saw a city that floats. It's kind of a tethered city. And Jesus is going to be showing us how to defy the laws of gravity using the very elements of nature. There are things in nature right now that can actually defy various laws. If you look at something as simple as a magnet, we now have technology where a train-like vehicle can float on top of a magnetic surface, and the solid surfaces never touch. So they can use magnets to glide along. We can do that now. We can defy the law of gravity now. But during the 1,000 years of peace, we're going to be building cities that are far more efficient, cities that actually float above the ground, and they will hold millions and millions of people too. That's just amazing, some of the cities that I've seen in my head. There's one city that is built on a bridge. There's a bridge that's about 10 miles long, and 5 miles wide, and about 10-15 or about a mile off the ground. And I don't know what it bridges, but on top of this bridge there is an actual city, and you can look down to the ground below and you can see the lakes, you can see the forests, you can see the whatever. So there'll be absolutely no end to the type of creativity that we will have to build cities as we grow throughout the 1,000 years of peace. And again, no two cities will be alike. Right now on Earth, all the cities are basically the same. They may be laid out differently, but they're all the same. They have roads and pedestrians, all traveling on the same levels. They have buildings, they have houses, and they more or less look exactly the same, even though some of the designs of the building might change, but basically the cities are the same. During the 1,000 years of peace, there'll be no two cities alike. There will be no two cities that are laid out the same, no two cities that are similar. It'll be amazingly creative, the time that comes. And I've also seen, I talked about this before too, this is just the most simplest form of a drifter, and that is just a vehicle. There's about 12 of them that I've seen, and they all float around in different directions around the planet, and it takes about a year for them to go around. And all they are is just luxury liners. They have swimming pools, amusement parks. They have places for vacation. So basically, they're just a mode of transportation, a vacation transportation that will take you to another place on the planet where you can also vacation. You can take a shuttle up to one of the drifters, and you can get on the drifter and you can enjoy yourself leisurely and have a nice holiday as the drifter floats by and it goes to another part of the planet. And then you take a shuttle to leave the drifter to get to the vacation spot that you want. I mean, the whole 1,000 years of peace is going to be so much luxury, so much peace, so much safety. Nobody's going to have to worry about anything. There'll be absolutely no danger at all. And this is just an interior of one of the cities, and yes, this is an interior. So this whole thing is enclosed. I don't know if you can see, but you can see in the background there's a place where they can grow acreages and farmland, and then there's a vacation spot with swimming pools and hotels, and this is a view from a balcony, and it's just amazing too. Again, just a quick sketch of one of the cities that I've seen in my head, a nighttime view on a hill looking down. And that's about it for these particular drawings. And I've got tons more, but they're on much larger sheets of paper, and I'll probably get them out. So if you want to go back with my previous videos of the past years, or check out the playlists, you can see more detail. I talk about more detail about the house, or the house, God's house in heaven, which is an enormous house that will eventually be brought down to earth. So eventually earth is going to look like that when it becomes the brightest star in the universe after the 1,000 years of peace, when God makes earth his home. And you can go back into the past videos when I've talked about life during the 1,000 years of peace, because it's going to be absolutely amazing, folks. We have so much to look forward to. We just have to get through these hard times. We just have to get through these dark times. And we have to fulfill our calling. That's the Great Commission. And that's getting as many people into heaven as we can, so that they too can have a position or a place of authority on the 1,000 years of peace, so that they too can help build up a world that is just enjoyable. It's just fun for everybody. It'll be a life truly worth living, a life without stress, a life without the enemies of God, a life without temptation. It'll just be a vacation spot, and it'll be amazing. But I could go into more about that, or I'll go into more about that a little bit later. I could speak about it for hours right now. But anyway, that's it. So we have Heaven City to look forward to. We have the 1,000 years of peace to look forward to, and we have a lot better technology and a lot better times coming. So stay wise, you wise virgins. Keep going. Jesus will be here soon. Pray for your family, your friends, and talk to as many people as you can, and try to get as many people into heaven as possible. Share the love of Jesus with them, and let them know that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. He's eternal life too. And all this is being done for God's glory. And the Holy Spirit will talk to you. I'll give you the words that you need. So anyway, that's it. Be blessed wherever you are in internet land and YouTube world. Jesus will be here sooner rather than later. And take care. Stay in prayer. We'll see you in Jesus' kingdom somewhere over there, or maybe somewhere up in the air. Okay, see ya. Jesus rules.